Hey, I'm Tyler.
I'm Alex.
We've been friends since kindergarten.
We were 2 out of 3 dudes in our entire class.
No, that didn't make us better at talking to girls.
But we've been close ever since. We grew up around the corner from each other.
Played the same sports, had the same friends.
Liked the same music.
Put it simply,
We're straight up homies.
When we got into our adult lives, we kind of went our separate ways to try new things.
Tyler moving to the beach to become a lifeguard.
Alex going away for college. Life has taken us in different directions and filled us with different experiences.
From reality TV.
To Alex climbing and jumping off the corporate ladder.
We've both done and seen a lot of weird and interesting things, but there's one thing we both experienced.
Self-doubt. We don't know what the we're doing.
We don't.
But we have some way, somehow made it to this point, and with us both going into the last year of our 20s, we figured it's time to get our shit together.
So, we decided to make a show.
We're gonna talk some shit. We're gonna get vulnerable. Who knows, we might even bring on some interesting guests.
And maybe we'll learn something.
Hopefully we can all get on the same wavelength.
That should be the name of the show.
That's a good name.
Yeah. Wait. You're vegan. Can you even eat marshmallows?
No. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Episode 2 of the Wavelength Podcast.
Yo, yo.
I am your host, co-host, Alex Kamenca. I'm sitting here with Tyler Crispen.
You just said the names backwards.
Oh, damn. See, we're still new at this, man.
Whatever.
We're still new. Well, hey, if you're watching episode 2, hopefully that means you liked episode 1. Today's episode is one I'm not particularly happy about because it's about me. But, I mean, I guess I'll let you explain what today's episode's about.
Yeah. So today we are going to interview Tyler on everything and anything, personal life, that probably some stuff you guys don't know about, and then also just your experiences, dude. Reality TV, challenge, Big Brother, love life. That's the one everybody wants to know.
Why everyone cares so much about
everybody
my
cares, dude.
relationships?
That's the juicy stuff. That's the tea.
That is the tea.
So-
But I mean, yeah, if chances are you know me from Big Brother and the challenge, but I don't really do too many interviews. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like with press stuff, I would decline like a lot of, unless I was contractually obligated. I would be like, no, I really don't want to do that.
You got to decline like everything?
Not everything.
Okay.
Not everything. Like for the challenge, I would do it. But the second time I did Big Brother, I was like, I don't want to do any interviews. Like I don't like it because you never know what they're gonna like twist your words sometimes. But so I think I was telling you, I like held on to a lot of stuff. I don't really get too in depth about these kind of things.
Yeah. Did you feel like that happened though, where sometimes your words got twisted, just being on reality TV or anything?
Yeah. Oh, you never know. Yeah, like there's so many examples where they take people's words and take it out of context sometimes. So it's like. But I mean, it's what you sign up for. You know, they got to make a story at the end of the day. So it makes sense. But
it's reality TV, right?
It's reality.
That's how it goes.
TV. Exactly.
Got to keep it juicy.
For sure, man. For sure.
All right. Well, we're going to start with a simple one.
A simple one.
Yeah, simple one.
Okay.
Just what's next for Tyler Crispen?
What do you mean, what's next? This is it, dude.
Yeah, that was a dumb question.
That was a dumb
question. You're right.
The Wavelength Podcast.
The Wavelength Podcast
next.
is next. All right. So there's no other shows in the works or anything else.
Oh, I did record a cool little Netflix show that you may have heard of. I just had a small little part on it.
Okay.
That's coming out probably later this year, early next year. I don't know if I can even talk about it quite yet, but I just had the smallest part in the world that might get cut, so we'll see.
Okay.
But that's fun.
You can't say the show?
I don't think I can say the show quite yet.
Okay.
But it'll make sense. It makes sense. It's on brand.
All right.
You know?
Fair enough.
So that was fun.
Fair enough.
It was fun, man.
Okay. So let's just get into it. So
Let's do it.
I'm going to ask you first, talk through your experience of Big Brother total. Like just first season compared to second season. Like all right, we'll start with the simple one. What was the best thing about Big Brother? Like your favorite moment? And then what was the hardest part of it?
Got you. I feel like my best moment of Big Brother, it's weird because it wasn't even when I was like a part of the show. It was when I went back on season 21 and hosted a competition.
Okay.
And like everyone was just so excited to see me.
Yeah.
When I like burst in the door. Because I don't know, like when I was on my season, I remember people like past house guests coming in.
Yeah.
And it was just like, because you haven't seen anybody else's faces in forever. And like for me, like back then, you're like, oh my, these people are freaking like cartoon characters. These are the Big Brother like disciples. These are the legends of the past.
Well, because you watched the show.
Yeah, and I watched the show.
Whole, every season before.
Yeah.
Like you were a super fan, right?
I was.
What do they call it?
That's it.
Super fan?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I was a super fan, full and full.
Okay.
And so then just to being able to like come back on season 21, like, and just burst through that door, I think I just screamed something, and I was so pumped, and everyone was just like super excited to see me. So and I think that was the most exciting moment because I wasn't in the game and it wasn't so stressful.
Yep.
And like high stakes. So that was the best. The worst part about Big Brother, I don't know, man.
Just like, what's the hardest part about being on the show in general, or like being in the house?
Yeah.
Like,
the hardest part is definitely being trapped indoors.
yeah.
It's not good for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good for anybody, but
Definitely
I don't do well trapped indoors.
You got a sick backyard though, like that helps.
Yeah, but we only got it like 2 or 3 days a week.
Oh, really?
Because we do the competitions back there, right? So like, that's the thing. Like they shut down the backyard a day or two before
because they're
to start building the competition for whatever, the HOH, and then you do the HOH, last a minute, shut down the backyard again.
So you don't get to go. You don't get to go outside at all.
During those times, you don't get to go outside at all. No. And they black out the back door so you can't see out either. So it's just, and there's no windows. It's a lot, man.
That's right. I didn't know
sunlight.
that. You've never told me that.
It's the hardest part by far, being trapped in there.
Wow.
And when it was All Stars, like it was the COVID year. It was 2020. So I think on season 20, we would get the backyard 3-4 times a week on average, sometimes 5.
Yeah.
On season 22 with COVID, everything was so much slower. So I feel like there might have been weeks where we had it once. There might have been weeks where we had it like twice, 3 times max. They had to like start making specific times like at night for us to like step outside every once in a while because there was just so much going on. It was difficult, dude.
So what did you do like when you couldn't go outside? Like you were just in the house waiting for comms to happen. Like, is that just pure like you're gossiping the whole time? Like everybody's running around the house talking to each other, hanging in their little groups. Like that's all it is.
I would say Big Brother is 95% downtime, 5% absolute sprint intensity, like, and so which is crazy because you go from this absolutely crazy high when like there's a competition, it's like a live competition, like on air, there's a vote, to absolute downtime where it's like you have to fill your time.
Yeah.
So we would just be in there. Everyone just is in there trying to do your daily routine and make it last 8 hours long.
Right.
Like I would like make breakfast last until 3 p.m. and then, like take 45 minutes to brush my teeth. like just stuff like that, dude.
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's the hardest part.
Okay.
And then it's hard to really get back into reality after that too. Like, cause then you come back into real life and you're like, wait, I have to like go grocery shopping. I have to like be productive and do stuff during the day. And like you're just being thrown like a million things all at once. It feels like when you come out.
I didn't even think about technology. That. Like what it's like coming back outside of it. Oh yeah. And you don't have a cell phone.
You don't have
time.
A phone. Dude, I'm telling you, there's something that is so wild about not having your phone. And then when you get your phone back.
Yeah.
That is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
Like it literally feels weird in your hand.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that I remember the most. I'm like, this thing is heavy. It's like, what do I do with this thing?
Yeah. And
it's
like having stuff in your pockets now.
Yeah.
Like
just stuff like that. I remember after the first season, I didn't even know how to grocery shop.
Really?
Yeah. Like I didn't know how to go to the grocery store, pick things out. Cause like when you're like, I was in there 100 days. So it's just 100 days nonstop. You're focused on one thing. And it's just, you're thinking about your relationship with a person, thinking about that person's relationship with someone else, thinking about if that relationship is stronger than your relationship, and then thinking about dude, it's so much.
I bet that's so hard. That's what I've thought about it.
It's so hard.
For the record, Tyler's tried to get me to go on Big Brother, and I'm just like, man, I don't know.
Comment.
I feel like
tell him he should.
No, I feel like I would do well, but I'm just like, it's your thing. It's your thing, and also like, I don't know if reality TV is my forte.
Maybe you're a podcast host.
Maybe I'm just a podcast host. And that's totally okay. But yeah, I feel like the hardest part about it would be is like not knowing who you can trust.
It's really hard.
Like, cause obviously it's a game. You know the game. Yeah. Like I feel like that would be the part that drove me the craziest.
It's really
I think
hard.
the comps would be so fun. Like, I would love doing that stuff. I think being in the house, like, obviously it's difficult, but like at the same time, like you're with people. I'm sure you can play like pool and stuff.
Yeah,
and
there's things to do.
There's things to do.
Yeah.
But it would kind of make you go crazy after a while, which is probably part of the game and why they do it.
Yeah, it is exactly why they do it. And
But-
they don't give you food sometimes, make you have nots, all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
They just throw it's the base of the show is a psychological experiment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which
if
makes sense. I mean, yeah.
And then they wrap it in this family friendly thing.
You don't really
but-
think of it that way, but
You're right.
it totally is.
But it is a psychological experiment. So like people that go on the show and like there's a lot of fans that are really hard on people. Like after being in, like I was one of those fans. I didn't really understand, like, because it's wrapped up in such a presentable, family friendly package. It just looks like everyone's like having the time of their life. But man, after being in there, I have so much like empathy for people in there
Yeah.
because it's just like the most high pressure cooker environment that you could be in.
Yeah.
So and people act like people don't know how they're gonna act.
Yeah.
Like not everybody knows how you're gonna react to certain situations until you're in the certain situations.
Yeah.
And then there's cameras filming you 24/7, so people act out and do stupid stuff, and then like they're like, "Wow, I don't even know how that happened." So it's like sometimes you can step out of yourself and your true colors can shine.
Yeah.
And so I mean,
Good or bad.
yeah, good or bad.
Yeah.
Good or bad. And I definitely thought my worst colors were shining. And
Really?
so like at the end of my first season, I was like, wow, America's going to hate me. And I just owned it. Like halfway through the season, I was like, I was worried about how America would perceive me at first. And then I hit a point where I was like, you know what? Everyone hates me. So I'm going to just do whatever I want
Which
to
is
do
funny
for the
because you
rest of
won
the time.
America's favorite.
Yeah, and then come to find out people actually liked me.
Yeah,
so that
dude,
was
you
like,
were.
what?
I don't know what you think you did to make people hate you.
I don't know either, dude. I think it's just something clicked in my head, or maybe it was a defense mechanism that I needed to get out of my head and just be like, "Don't worry about what people are doing. They all hate you anyway.
I'll
You
be
might
the
as well."
villain and win this.
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I tried to do, and I was just like, "All right, I'm gonna just play the game." But it's so hard, like what you said earlier, just who you can trust. I would say what I explain it to people like this because I like play with my heart in these games.
Mhm.
Like you go in there, you're supposed to like meet people and game with them. It's not as easy as just flipping a switch and just being like,
Yeah.
okay, that person is my competition. I'm gonna like sit there and have a heart-to-heart, one-on-one with them, and I can't wait to slice their throats and cut them out of here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's not like that. You go meet these people,
And they're cool.
and you get so close with them. You live with them 24/7. I say to people like, imagine your 5 closest friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vote one of them out right now.
Yeah. That would be so tough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how hard it is. But you can't play. That's how I feel when I was playing the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there are people that can, differentiate. But I feel like that's the best way to be and that was the most natural way for me to be because I love to just get to know people and like meet them like that. And then I was in a position in the game where I had to be that person because I was like in a power position to eliminate people that I like adored.
Yeah.
And I had built such a solid friendship and relationship with.
You had to kick your girlfriend out at
Dude.
that point in time. You had to-
I didn't do it. Okay, I didn't do it.
Oh, you didn't?
Casey did it.
Casey did. That's
Casey
right.
did
That's
it.
right. That's
but
right.
there was a point then where I was like, there was like a veto at that veto. I could have won that one, but I threw that one.
Yep.
Because it would have meant having to choose between the girl I was in a relationship with and my best friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, no chance.
Can't do that.
And that ended up, people say that was where I lost the game. But that right there is like something I'll never regret. I will never want to like go in there and make that decision.
Yeah.
Because that's way too hard.
Yeah.
But those are the decisions that have to be made to like win Big Brother.
Yeah.
And it's so hard, dude. It sucks.
Yeah, that would
tough.
drive me crazy, dude. Just like not knowing.
Right.
And this is a personal problem for me, but like I do care way too much about what people think of me and like what people are like saying to me. So like I feel like that would drive me crazy. I'm like, what are you saying behind my back? Because I know it's a game. I know people
And
strategize.
it's designed that way.
It's designed that way, but that would drive me absolutely insane.
And it hurts too. Like it
Oh,
hurts.
I bet, dude.
Like seeing clips afterwards of, people talking behind your back. But then I was like doing the same thing,
Yeah.
But that's the thing that hurts even more is like when I had to eliminate some of these people or like vote someone out that I was super close with.
Yep.
I was like, they think that I was just playing them like a fiddle. They think I didn't even care about our friendship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I genuinely, it but you don't have the chance to tell them like, hey, no, listen, like I honestly, like it wasn't like that. I really like love you as a person and you're just awesome. I just did it as a game.
Right. And that's the hard part too. That was the hard part watching. And Casey I've never met Casey, obviously, but that was kind of the hardest part to watch is like you were just playing the game and people took it personally. And like that was like just kind of hard to watch because I'm like, no, dude, like Tyler was making fucking moves. He was doing what he had to do and like genuinely, but that's biased because I know you as a person. Right. And I'm like, Tyler would never try and hurt anyone. A fly. Right. I mean, you're vegan, you can't hurt flies, true. But
that's how people see it though. And that's why I've never was like, that's why I understood so much about why I didn't get the vote to win. Yeah. Because I was like that must, I always felt terrible about like hurting people that I was genuinely friends with, you know? And I thinking back on it now, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't get rewarded for that behavior. Yeah. Because that's not something fun. Yeah. Like, that's not a good, I'm glad I didn't get rewarded for backstabbing my friends. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm glad I got second place.
It's a great way to look at it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, like, who knows what would, like, if I could have been a different person after that if I thought, like, that was the way to be. Yeah. So, it, like, in a way, I was only 23 at the time, and I was just, like, playing so hard, and I thought that was the way to do it. But then really seeing Casey win, and in the way that she did it by just being true to herself and, you know, winning competitions, doing things for herself, that like, is the lesson I took. Like, you get more rewarded when you're like loyal and you're staying by your people, you know, and not like backstabbing people. Yeah. Even though that was a position I was just in, but I thought that's what you had to do. So that was a lesson I took away from that. So I'm glad I got second place. I say that to this day. Like, I'm so glad I didn't win.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, dude. I mean, that's like, and probably another reason I would not be good at Big Brother. Like, my least favorite thing to do in my life is, like, hurt somebody.
It sucks.
Like, dude, if one of my friends ever told me I hurt their feelings about something, I'd shut down.
Legit,
I'll
dude.
do anything for you. Like, I'll do anything to fix it. Like, that is one of the worst feelings I can ever have. Like, if I know unintentionally, I really wouldn't intentionally hurt someone's feelings. Right. But, like, if one of my, like, close people or... Shoot, it can actually be a stranger. Like, say I hurt their feelings, I'd be like, shit.
You do that in public, You're like so polite and kind-hearted. That's just how we grew up, though, you know? So it's like, we grew up, I mean, I don't know. It's a thing about us in the small town, I think, you know? We grew up that way. Like,
it's a blessing and a curse.
It's a blessing and a curse, for sure.
High school sucked. I know we're getting back to our first episode about us, but like, high school sucked. Our high school graduating class was 100 people total.
Was it?
Yeah.
Shoot, it was almost 99. I failed algebra twice.
I failed algebra 1.
Dude, I failed algebra 1.
Math.
Twice.
We're not math guys.
Thank God that was the last year they needed 3 years of math.
Yeah. But like everybody knew everything.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't do anything without the entire school knowing. Or at least your class.
Yeah.
Literally the next day.
The next day.
Whatever you did on Saturday night, everybody knew.
And Kevin's telling everybody.
I was at a party for 15 minutes on New Year's Eve, and I left because I was like, there's too many people here, and that was going into soccer season. And I was in the principal's office Monday morning. Monday morning. And I'm like, I was there for 15 minutes, didn't take a single picture, and I left. Yeah. Like, I wasn't, half the people don't even know I was there.
Right.
But anyways,
I mean, that prepared. That's freaking Big Brother right there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's even.
Yeah, dude.
So you're a little prepared for that because you knew what happens.
Shout out to Rossford High.
Yeah, for real. All right, let's back it up. So when you were, I guess, like, what first made you want to get on the show? Like, what was your thought process? How did you even get on the show?
So I remember watching the show with my dad when I was like young, like, cause he was on disability, so he was just like
your
chilling
dad
at
loved
home.
Some TV.
Oh, he
man.
loved his freaking TV.
Yeah,
and so he'd just be on those daytime little soap operas all the time. He was watching the Young and the Restless all the time.
Every time I would walk in your house midday, that's what he was watching.
I wish I did not know who freaking Victor Newman from the Young and the Restless was, but I do against my will because he'd be crying.
Yeah,
God, he'd be crying about it. But yeah, so he'd be watching stuff like that. I think that was on CBS, and then he'd be watching Big Brother. Yeah. And I just remember this very specific like episode. Like, one dude got a punishment. I can't remember what season it was. but a guy got a punishment. He had to be in solitary confinement. I think it was Dan. This guy's name's Dan.
Okay.
They had to put him in like 24-hour solitary confinement just by himself. And when he was in there, he came out. He was on the block basically, and it ended up being this thing called Dan's Funeral. So all the Big Brother fans are freaking out right now because this thing called Dan's Funeral is like known as the greatest Big Brother move of all time.
Okay.
So he basically was on the block, back against the wall, went to 24-hour solitary confinement. In his head, came up with this crazy plan to like get himself off the block. And if you haven't seen that episode or what he did there to get himself off the block and change every single person's mind, it's absolutely wild.
Okay.
Ends up getting himself off the block, goes all the way to the final 2.
No way.
Yeah, so I remember watching that episode specifically, like when he was in solitary confinement, and be like, wow, this show is a trip. Like, this is crazy. And then I started watching it again, like, when I was, like, lifeguarding, basically, like, around that time, like, after college. And then I went back and just watched every season. So I was like, this is awesome. I'm addicted to this. Like,
yep.
But I was also like, I feel like I could do a good job at this. Like, I feel like I want to try this.
Right.
Because, like, cool, psychological experiment. Like, I'm, 20 years old at the time. Like, let me see if I can do it. Like, I could do anything. I want to try something new.
Yeah.
So I sent like a few audition tapes in, like I applied. There was a season called Big Brother Over the Top it was right when like Paramount Plus released, I think. So, and at the time it was called CBS All Access. So they're like streaming platform basically.
Okay.
And to advertise it, they basically did this fall season of Big Brother that was only available on Paramount Plus. So I applied for that one like the day I was 21. Right. And they ended up calling me back. And I went to like the final round of casting for that. And I made like the top 40 or whatever it was. And like went through the whole interview process in LA. And I got cut like last minute. So I didn't get on that one.
Was it between you and someone else and then you got cut? Or was it a bigger pot than that?
They don't really tell you.
Okay.
They don't really tell you if it's like how it's working out or what the breakdown is. But you kind of see like when you're there, it's wild when you're in in the casting thing. Yeah. They're like in the finals because you're staying at this hotel and you have allotted times to like go to the gym, go eat lunch. So it's just a bunch of people sitting by themselves at like the hotel restaurant.
Right.
But the hotel staff is not allowed to know while they're there, and they tell you like if the waiter or something asks you why you're here, don't say. And if we see them talking to you a little too much, the security guards who are disguised are going to come up and like get them to stop talking to you.
No way.
So it's wild. So you basically are sitting there at a table by yourself with a bunch of other people at tables by themselves eating lunch at a restaurant, and you're just eyeing everybody down, but you can't talk to each other, to the other contestants.
You can't talk to them?
You can't talk to the other contestants, no.
Oh,
so
wow.
I remember when I was there in finals for that round, there were these sisters that ended up going on the show. Her name is Morgan Willette and her sister, and I had no idea they were related.
Yeah.
And Morgan ended up going on that show and winning.
Oh, shit.
So, like, and it's just crazy the way it works out, like that kind of stuff. Like, they were sisters. I had no clue, and they were faking, like, that they didn't know each other, and they went on the show. Anyway, that's a little casting thing. So after I got cut from that, I was like, that gave me a little taste. But I was only 21, so I was like, okay, it's probably a good thing I didn't make it on the show. You know, like, I don't know how I would have done.
Right.
But it was also like, okay, maybe I could actually do this thing. So I kept trying. Like, the next year, they asked me to come out for a casting call. Couple seasons went by, and then I moved to Australia for a year to do like a working holiday visa, basically, where we just traveled around and got like a random job.
Yeah.
And you can stay there for a year or whatever. When I was there, since I was in the casting network of, you know, like all the casting producers, they work on a lot of different shows. They reached out to me and they were like, hey, we had this new like show that's kind of like Wipeout coming out on CBS. Like, would you want to be a part of it? And so I was interviewing for that when I was in Australia. End up coming back to Australia, like a few days go by, and they're like, hey, you're going to be on the show. Like, we're just filming one episode. Like, come on out for this day.
Yeah.
They flew me out to California. This was like late May
just
of
flying
2018.
back and forth from Australia. That's
dude.
like the worst flight. I've been to New Zealand before. It is 14 hours
so long,
straight over the ocean.
Yeah, dude, it's so long.
It is so long.
It's so long.
It is so long.
I'm pretty sure I did that. No, that was actually the craziest week because I flew back from Australia. I bought a car in Ohio, drove it to Hilton Head to go start work for the summer.
That's a 14-hour trip.
Worked for 3 days straight. And then they flew me out for like a red eye to California to do medical tests. Flew me back. I went straight back to work on the beach. And then they're like, hey, come out, film this episode. So that was like the craziest 2-week stretch of all time. I was so exhausted.
I bet.
So exhausted. But they're like, hey, so we're going to put you on the show. And Kevin Hart's the host, by the way. I'm like, oh, you just held that one in the whole time? I'm like, okay, sick. Like, Kevin Hart is huge.
Yeah.
So it's called TKO. They brought me out. Just a one-day thing.
I remember watching this.
Oh, dude.
You posted it, and I was like, what the hell?
It was so random, but it was such a good time.
Yeah.
But I remember being there, like, I remember having the thought in my head, like, okay, so these are the same kind of, like, producers that produced Big Brother, and Big Brother was my dream show to get on. So I was like, if I go on this TKO show and I, like, show out, I can just show that I'd be entertaining and I'd, like, do a good job maybe. Maybe they'll, like, want me to be on Big Brother. I remember having that thought when I was there filming. And I don't know if it was the sleep deprivation or all the travel, being jet lagged, but I was just goofy as hell on that show. Like, I was talking mad shit to everybody. Like, the premise of the show was there's 4 obstacles that you go around this obstacle course, and you're against 4 other people, so there's 5 people total. Everyone had their own little, like, obstacle station, and they would throw these different projectile things at you while you were trying to cross.
Yep.
And I went last. So I had been at each station talking shit, throwing things at people's faces the whole time. And by the time I went last, everyone had it out for me because they're sick of me because I had just like messed them up the whole time. So they were coming for my throat, dude.
Yeah.
There was like a freaking like a cheerleader or something. She was throwing these discs at my face. Like I got annihilated. But the winner got $50,000.
Yeah.
For like a 1-day shoot. I ended up getting third. I think I won like $2,500. I was like, dang, I could have won 50 grand. But me and Kevin Hart during our interview had the funniest like just back and forth. Like we were just cracking each other up. It was so funny, like the stuff we were talking about. I go back to work in Hilton Head, like a few days go by, and I remember I was on the beach, so I like didn't have my phone, and I remember like going off for like a break or something, and I just got this voicemail. It was from Robin Cass, that was the head casting director of Big Brother, and like I didn't have her number saved at that time because she wasn't casting me for the round before.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that voicemail. I might still have it. She was just like, I heard you were an absolute rock star on TKO, and we have a spot open for this other show on Big Brother. She didn't even say Big Brother. She was like, we have a spot open on this other show. We're just wondering if you'd be interested. That was like what the voicemail said. And I knew it was Big Brother right then.
Really?
I knew I was on Big Brother right at that second.
Damn.
And I was like, dude,
but
this is crazy.
Didn't Kevin Hart tell her?
Yes. So what I came to find out a few years later when talking to some executives, I think there was like a new head of programming at CBS at that time, and that TKO show, she was there, and that was like one of her first shows that she was live and in person on. And I guess after Kevin Hart and I had that like funny conversation and back and forth, he like went and said something. He was like, man, if y'all don't sign this dude to some kind of show, I'm going to sign him to my team or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Just something really cool. This is what she said. So who knows? She might have been just trying to gas me up. But she heard that. And she was like, well, if Kevin Hart wants this dude on the show, or if he thinks he's funny, then he must be pretty good. So let's just call this guy up. And the rest is history. I made it on Big Brother like 2 weeks later.
That's crazy. So what was your strategy to like coming into Big Brother? What was your strategy going to be? Like, what did you think about, like, hey, this is, like, how I'm going to start off doing stuff?
I always had this planned, like, my plan to get on the show was a strategy in and of itself.
Yeah.
In a way. But it went a little roundabout way with that whole TKO thing. I did not anticipate that. But I feel like I presented myself in a way where I was like, okay, maybe if I'm acting like I'll be a character on this show, they'll put me on the show. So, like, when I was going through the casting, like they still put me through a couple rounds of casting after that.
Yeah.
I had this persona and this character that I couldn't turn off for the first like few days of Big Brother. Like if you watch the first few episodes of Big Brother 20, that is I don't know who the hell that is. That is just the most dumbed down version of me It's literally like if someone just like beat me over the head with something a couple times.
It was weird to watch as your friend and someone that's known you for your whole life. I'm like, what's he doing?
Like, what's wrong with him, dude?
What's my man's doing?
Did they drug him?
Yeah.
I was just acting. I wanted to act like play up this, I guess, like archetype or this character that like maybe I'm sure casting saw through it, but I'm sure they were probably like, I can't wait for this to fall apart and we see who he really is and he crashes and burns.
Yeah.
So, but I put that character on to get myself on the show and stand out and playing like my hair looks like this. I'm a lifeguard. I'm like
dumb surfer guy.
I'm like, I'll be dumb surfer guy for a little bit. And then once I get in the show being dumb surfer guy, I'll take that away and I'll be myself and I'll try to like do as best as I can and play Big Brother as best as I can.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, thankfully.
Yeah.
Like my boss in Hilton Head, like he watched the show for the first time, the first episode I was in. I'm like, I'm a lifeguard from Hilton Head. He's like, oh my God, I cannot believe I let this guy do this and put my logo on there. So I'm very thankful I didn't get eliminated first because I would have forever been.
You would have just been painted as
I would have
dumb
forever
surfer.
been dumb surfer, dude. But it worked out, man.
It did.
And I'm really thankful that America got to see who I actually am because, man, I'm sorry for that character because he was an idiot. And I don't think he aged well either.
Yeah. So season 20, Big Brother 20, right? Mm-hmm. You crushed that season.
It's the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about 22.
22, All-Stars. Man, I was down.
Yeah.
I was down during that season.
And you fully have admitted that. Like, it was tough. But
that was tough. That was like, I will say, season 22, looking back, was probably one of the like roughest parts of my life, like in general.
Yeah.
And I didn't really realize it at the time too. And I was trying so hard to fight it off.
Yep.
Because I just felt like so many things were going wrong. It was a COVID year. I didn't really think COVID was affecting me that way or like everything, but that might have played into it. But I don't know. But I just remember being so damn depressed and so like confused about the decision to actually go. Like I felt super bad about like leaving and going on the show. And I just felt, I don't know, I just was just putting so much weight on my shoulders. And I was like, oh, I got to live up to my height from my first season. I was like, what if it was just a freaking fluke? And I didn't, there was just so much pressure. And I tried to hide it for as long as I could. And I ended up just hitting a breaking point in there where I was like, I got to get the hell out of here. Like, I got to leave. Like, I was seeing people that were putting their heart and soul on the line for like, to win the game, and I'm sitting there every day like, should I climb the wall? And then that right there, having that thought was weighing on me even more because I'm like, wow, I want to leave, and these people are putting their freaking heart and soul on the line. Like, I should leave. Like, I don't deserve to be here if that's my mindset.
Right.
And so I hit that breaking point, and I had to talk to like the therapist. They have a little therapist up in there. So I was like, they had to shut down the live feeds for like a day, and I'm over here talking to the therapist about leaving and like talking to the producers. I was like, I really want to leave. There's a whole thing that went on behind the scenes where I was like trying to leave and they were just trying to get me not to leave.
No way.
Yeah, they were like, just don't do it, just stick it out.
You've never told me that.
Yeah, dude, I tried to leave. I straight up, there was a day where I tried to leave. And I was like, I got to get out of here. Like, I don't deserve to be here. And I just like, I literally hit a freaking breaking point where I was like, I don't deserve to be here. And then I ended up staying. So I ended up staying. And once I stayed, I hit like my mindset changed and I started to lock in. And I started to actually play the game because it was just nice to be able to like talk to somebody. I will say it is nice, like Big Brother does offer those resources. Like they give you therapy after the show for like a year.
That's
and they
awesome.
have a therapist on hand because it is such a psychological like
dude. I mean,
brain fuck that it's like
all the stuff we're talking about. I'm like, there's a lot of layers.
So many layers.
A lot of
man.
layers.
So many layers. And thinking about like, and it was weird because thinking about that first character that people ever saw of me on Big Brother to the point where I was at was like just total opposites. Like that was a complete low. So Big Brother fans have literally seen me at like my highest highs and my absolute lowest lows. Like I was telling you the other day, I can't even look at myself like in clips of Big Brother 22 because like my body reacts when I'm super depressed and anxious and I just like can't eat. Like I was 140 pounds when I left Big Brother 22. I'm 170 pounds now. Like that's
crazy.
That's my weight. That's my like maintaining weight.
Yeah. No,
So
I'm
my
the same
body
way,
was
dude.
just eating
Though
itself,
I
dude.
mean, my body works the same way. When I'm stressed, dude, I cannot eat to save my life. I have zero appetite, whether it's whatever,
Right.
like anything in life, whether it's
stomach.
work or anything. Like I just can't eat, or relationships, whatever the case is. If there's anything stressful going on, my appetite or whatever that is shuts down.
That's what my therapist says. They're like, everyone feels it in different places. Sometimes you feel it in your head, like people get headaches. Sometimes you feel it in your stomach, like anxiety sits in the stomach a lot.
Yep.
So it's all connected. So yeah, my anxiety and depression was just eating me alive, it felt like back then. So but I hit a breaking point and I pushed through it, but man, that was tough.
Yeah.
That was so tough. And I've always felt bad too, because I'm like, man, Big Brother 22 sucked. Like the season wasn't even entertaining. So I always felt like bad that I felt like I could have been way more entertaining if my heart was in it.
Is that the season Cody won?
That's the season Cody won.
Yeah.
Which he absolutely crushed.
Yeah, he
Shout out
crushed
to Cody.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
him and Enzo.
Him and Enzo in the final two.
Yeah, dude, honestly, that was an entertaining season. That was not entertaining.
I don't know, man.
It was
I feel
good.
like the alliance I was in just won every competition and nothing ever really changed. And it was pretty straightforward. That's what I don't know.
Well,
I always felt bad though that I wasn't more involved or I didn't have my heart in it. But being able to have both of those seasons, like season 20 and 22,
it's kind of beautiful in a way.
it's beautiful.
Like
in
you
a
said,
way.
people got to see you at your highest.
Exactly.
And then also at your lowest. And like,
yeah.
they know who you are.
Exactly. Exactly. And people still like are like so supportive of me even through seeing both. Like
Yeah, dude.
that's what I was saying earlier. Like Big Brother is a test and it's a psychological experiment and it's designed to like break you down. And so the fans and the people that will stick by people that they're rooting for and not just beat them down when they're at their lowest are people I really appreciate, you know? But it's easy to like look at someone who's like screaming at someone and then beat them down for it and like say they're a bad person. But you got to understand that's a freaking stressful environment. Everyone's going to react different, you know?
Yeah. And one
cool.
thing you told me that you haven't said yet, I'm just going to say it. Like you said, the challenges or the competitions and everything, it feels like life or death.
Oh, it feels
every
like
time.
life or death. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It literally feels like if you get eliminated, it feels like the person died.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're never going to see them again.
Right.
When it's like, wait, dude, no.
So like when emotions are that high and you feel like it's totally life or death, like people react in different ways to that.
Exactly.
Like it's probably hard. I can sit here and say I'm a chill guy and I'm going to hold everything in, like I'll be okay and handle it well. But like I could go crazy.
Yeah.
Like I totally could.
It's
I can
wild,
totally
man.
see that.
I say it's like the Hunger Games. I
Yeah.
was like, if y'all, I always say every time I watch the Hunger Games, I'm like, if y'all keep letting these reality shows get this way, this is what we're gonna have.
This is what it's
in
gonna
the
be.
future. It's gonna be the freaking Hunger Games.
That's crazy.
That's what it feels like, dude. It's absolutely a trip. But I'm so grateful for the two experiences, and I love that they're separate. And I love like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
seeing myself at a high and seeing myself at a low. The biggest lesson I learned is if your heart's not in it, you're not going to succeed.
Yep.
You know, because I have really great lessons from season 20 where my heart was in it completely. And now I know like that's the way I got to be to succeed in something.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I just lead with my freaking heart for better or for worse. Like,
All in, baby.
you know what I mean? I'm all in with
All
this
in.
thing. I love a lot.
Yeah.
My girlfriend knows this.
Yeah. We're going to get to her. But before that, I have one quick one. You talked about Kevin Hart. You met a lot of cool people.
Yes.
Coolest celebrity that you met.
The coolest celebrity.
Coolest celebrity you met. Like
Man.
you met some bigger people.
Are you talking like the one that was the most like cool person to person, or the one that's the coolest to name drop?
Let's just give them both. you
Okay,
know?
the coolest to name drop is probably Kevin Hart,
Okay.
which
Makes sense.
You know, sorry for dropping that, but that's the story I got. That might have been a false story. I don't know. The producer might have been trying to gas me up, but I think that's.
Well, if you
pretty
see
dope.
this, Kevin, you can come here and hop on
Dude,
and
I've
set
shot
the
him
story,
a couple DMs.
set the story straight.
I've shot him some DMs like, man, thanks for changing my life, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever saw him. But if he happens to see this, Kevin, appreciate you. I did a bowling tournament one time with
JJ?
JJ Watt
Yeah.
and Terrell Owens.
It's crazy.
And Chris Paul and Mookie Betts and all. I was so out of place being there. Like the PBA, like the commissioner of the PBA was like a Big Brother fan, and they did a segment about me talking about how I bowled when I was a kid. And they just reached out to me afterwards and were like, "Hey, you want to come?" Like,
you also did the
celebrity
sickest thing in that bowling tournament.
That
was like the best thing. And we'll clip this in.
Yeah.
That was the coolest fucking thing ever.
That was the coolest thing I've ever done.
You just like pause, or what did you do?
So
Explain
TO
it.
was on. It was basically like an elimination round where whoever, like everyone goes, gets one shot. Whoever gets the least amount of pins is eliminated. TO had gotten the least amount of pins, so he's on the chopping block over here, and it's only down to me. And I go up to bowl, and TO had been talking shit to me all day.
Yeah.
And right when I go to throw, everyone's quiet. He says, yo, yo, yo. He tries to throw me off. I pause midair with the ball in the air. I look at him. I throw it, and I get a strike, and I eliminated him.
Yep.
I've never been more. I never felt so cool.
Yeah.
I've never
that
felt
was
cooler in my life.
Probably the coolest
There's
thing
like
you've
a
ever
clip
done.
of JJ Watt just dapping me up, and like all these people, I'm like, all these professional athletes, I'm like, I have no business being here, but
That's
was
so
sick.
sick.
That was
so sick.
I got a trophy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's the I'd never win anything. Let's go.
That's so sick.
That was cool, man.
Yeah.
Just being around that environment. So shout out to the PBA, man. I love bowling.
Yep.
That was the pinnacle of my bowling career.
Yeah.
It won't top that.
No.
It won't.
No,
It
never.
definitely won't.
And then
You wanna
oh
talk
wait,
about the
you
challenge?
didn't answer who the question was.
Oh.
Or like who was the actual like coolest down to earth?
Oh, the coolest down to earth person I met, I would say, I don't know, AJ from the Backstreet Boys. You know
Really?
AJ from the
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys. I remember him being super cool.
Okay.
He was at the Big Brother 20 rap party, which one of the wildest experiences of my life, because you go from seeing two faces for 99 days
Yeah.
and then a million people coming at you all at once. Like,
Right.
oh my God, you crushed it. But I remember being at that rap party and like talking to someone, and I just look over and AJ from the Backstreet Boys is holding my mom's hand, guiding her over to me and saying, "What's up, Tyler?" Like,
No way.
Yeah.
Charlene.
Charlene just pulls up with AJ from the Backstreet Boys. And she's like, "Look, it's AJ from the Backstreet Boys." I'm like, what? I was like, what planet am I
Dude,
on?
I'm sorry. Your mom.
Dude, can you imagine
no,
that?
I can't.
Can you imagine that?
I can't. Your mom with the Backstreet Boy
Dude,
cracks me
it might
up.
have been a fever dream, but I swear it happened. Weirdest thing that I never thought I would.
I've
see
never
with
heard
my
that
eyes.
story, and that is funny as hell.
Crazy. But I remember he being super cool, and he always had a special place in my heart for that. So I'm like, what is happening, dude? Like, that is absolutely madness.
That is
he
hilarious.
was cool. I just had to tell that story. I don't know if he was the coolest because I barely remember talking to him, but
Yeah.
that was wild. That was wild.
Yeah. All right. Challenge time. So,
Okay.
one, what was harder? Big Brother or the challenge?
Oh, man.
Probably hard in their different ways, but like
Yeah.
overall, and obviously you've only done one season of the challenge, so
Uh-huh.
might be a little swayed, but
Yeah. I don't know, though. It's kind of, yeah. I would say Big Brother is the hardest.
really?
Yeah. Just the fact that you're trapped indoors for, and it's 100 days long. Like, I think the challenge is usually, well, the one I did, I think it was around 50 days total if you made it the whole way. I think I made it like 45 days.
Yeah.
I'm like, day 45 in Big Brother, we had gotten out like the fourth person.
You weren't even halfway there.
Not even close. And so, like, just the pace. But
Yeah.
that was another thing. It was difficult for me to get my footing on the challenge because I'm so used to, okay, one person's HOH. 4 days from now, we do a veto. 2 days later, it takes forever.
Yeah.
But the challenge is like, before I even like made my bed, if I felt like we had already eliminated 2 people.
Yeah.
I didn't even talk to Johnny Bananas until episode 3.
Really?
Like, I'm like, dude, I don't even know if this guy knows I'm here yet, which I guess can be a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're hard in their different ways. Challenge was way more physically demanding.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Checks
which
out.
I liked. Which
Yeah.
I really liked.
Yeah.
And I think I was prepared physically for the challenge, but I think where my downfall was is like I wanted to just have something that was not so mentally draining as Big Brother.
Yeah.
So I didn't put the mental, like, I didn't put my mental first foot forward basically on the challenge.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't gaming all the time, like going around talking to everybody out, because I was just like, you know, the challenge is at the end of the day, even if everyone hates you, they throw you into elimination. You win every elimination, you stick around. So everyone can hate you the whole time. You can just fight yourself and stay back in.
Which is what happened with Chris that season,
Which
dude.
is what happened with Chris.
He was a dog.
Dude. Absolute dog. Absolute dog. And I love that Chris. I feel like Chris winning made the season.
Yeah,
Like, it made the season.
for sure.
It was sick. Like, we were everyone was against Chris.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted Chris out.
100%.
And the funny thing is, if you look back to the very beginning, like one of the first episodes when they do the draft picks, I think Chris was like the second to last person picked on a team.
That's
so
crazy.
The story of Chris on the Challenge USA 2 is the last kid picked in dodgeball, fucking tearing the whole thing up and winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
And coming back with revenge. It was awesome.
I met Chris. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, Chris is a cool dude, man.
He's awesome.
And when he locks in, he's terrifying.
I
but
bet.
He's a great guy. Like,
I bet.
he's just a family man. He's so driven. You know, I come to understood Chris late because we were at each other's throats. But Chris is a very driven, like, hardworking person, and I'm stoked that he won. I think that was awesome. But that's the thing. Chris put in the work mentally, physically, every single day on the challenge. And so he deserved every little bit of that win. And his back was against the wall the whole time.
Yeah,
so
dude.
it was crazy. And when my back was against the wall, I'm like, you know what? I ain't even going to talk to anybody until the elimination. I'm like, throw me in there. I'll just try to win and come back.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just threw in the towel on talking to anyone.
Yeah.
Which I wish I would have done more gaming, but at the same time, I kind of like the fact I didn't want my mind to go spiral like it did on Big Brother.
Right.
So I was a little nervous to start gaming in that way. And I was just going to try to back it up physically. So that's why I trained so hard physically for it. And I think I held my own. I feel good about how I
you
did.
dude.
I really wanted to make it to the final, like, really bad, because I felt like if I could sneak my way into the final, I could have won it and pulled it out. And nobody would have seen it coming. But I really was so exhausted by the time my elimination came where I got out. I was so exhausted. My body was, like, breaking down.
Yeah.
Like, I literally, every other time, like, on the challenge, I would say, like, you go into the elimination arena and you would just have this feeling. Like, I would always just go down there and have this feeling. I'm like, I'm not going home today.
Really?
Like, I'm not, even if I have to play, I'm not going home today. Like, I would have, like, 7 votes. And I'd just be like, I'm not going home today. It's all right. And I wouldn't. And the one time I went down there, I was like, uh-oh, I feel like this might be my time. That's when I went home.
Okay.
This is wild.
Even against Monty, you knew you weren't going home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But when they told me it was against Monty, I might have had a little second thought, but I knew I was going into elimination that time. So I just had the mindset. But that's what you got to do, because if you're caught off guard, that's like an advantage for the other person. So there was like a time when, even during that elimination, when Monty's name got picked to play against me.
Well, because you basically said throw me in on that.
I said throw me in, because the way they edited it and the way it was completely different. I was like, we can keep Alyssa safe, we can keep Monty safe, we can keep me safe if we throw all these votes on Sebastian and I throw myself in, because I didn't have as much faith in Alyssa winning an elimination as I had in myself winning an elimination. So we put in so much work to get everybody to put votes on Sebastian so I could go in against Sebastian, eliminate him, and then me, Monty, and Alyssa were still there. But we only got half the votes on Sebastian. But we pulled it off, like, keeping him blindsided too, because that's another thing we wanted to do, is
it was close.
Blindside him and could keep him on his heels, and he wasn't expecting it. So it worked. Everything worked except they pulled the wrong ball. Ended up being Monty. But I love Sebastian, but dude, that would have been cool if we pulled that off. And he probably would have beat me too, because he's real, like, flexible, and so who knows what would have happened. But me and Monty,
that specific
man,
challenge. That challenge was crazy.
Dude, that challenge was crazy. That was that was the craziest competition period I ever did.
Yeah.
For sure. 3 hours of just holding a rope. It was like it pulled your body weight in force against you.
Right.
It was literally like I physically couldn't sit up the next day out of bed. Like, you know, sometimes you're like, damn, I really don't want to sit up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to get up out of bed. I tried to move and I couldn't move. Like, Desi had to, like, help me up, I think. I was like, I can't move. Like,
that's crazy.
I still have lines, like scars on my hips
from
the harness.
rope.
Yeah. It's not even like a cut. It's like a part of me now.
That's crazy.
It's weird. It's crazy.
Full-time indented.
Yeah.
Rest of your life.
I think Monty has that too. Like, we both just have this thing stuck in our hips.
Yeah.
But that was wild. That elimination, man. That was the coolest thing I was ever a part of, though. I was so emotionally, like, it took so much out of me, that elimination. Like, it just absolutely wrecked me emotionally, and it was like I was just freaking bawling my eyes out the second I won. I've never done that with anything. Yeah. It was just like working so hard for 3 hours straight and something failing a million times, and then you, like, come out on top. It was crazy, dude. Yeah. I still have one of the balls. Like, the producer gave me one of the
Really?
the balls on the
Yeah.
the pyramid. I still have one. I like take it with me when I go places. I'm like, this is my lucky charm.
Lucky
right here.
charm.
Like, I need
Yeah.
this.
What was the hardest part about the challenge overall? Was it just straight physical, or was there any mental battles you had or anything like that?
I think dude. I think it was just grasping the game, like
Yeah.
grasping the concept. I struggled a lot more making relationships on the challenge than I did on Big Brother, just because there was people that have done it so many times before, I think, and they like it's not that they weren't accepting of me, but it felt like lines were drawn from the second you get there.
Yeah.
You know, so it was really hard to like get in with people or.
Yep.
And I'm not like a loudest person in the room. I'm not like the biggest guy. So people weren't coming to me like, oh, we need Tyler on our team. You know, I was one of the smallest guys there.
Yeah.
So if anything, people were like, oh, we'll just like keep this guy around for a layup.
Yeah.
And we'll get him at the end.
Yeah.
But I felt like I'm more physically capable than they knew.
For sure.
So I was like, okay, this could be a good thing. Like,
Yeah.
And then once I started turning up and I eliminated Monty, people started like turning their heads, but it was a little too late, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that was the hardest part for me was like, just understanding the game,
Right.
You know, understanding the flow and how it works and how it's quick. Because you go from the daily challenge, right?
Yeah.
Like you do that one where one person wins or like one team wins.
Yep.
You take the bus ride home. Right when you are getting off the bus, they're like, "All right, we're gonna do the nominations here in 20 minutes. Y'all just go change and we'll do the nominations." So it's like, how the hell do I go tell Johnny Bananas not to put my name on the nominee?
Yeah. So there's less of a
in 10
social game
minutes.
than you would think.
Yeah, but you have to have like it's like you already have to have it
Yeah.
have happened, but there's no time to like go
Yeah.
plead your case. Whereas Big Brother, like you get the HOH on Thursday, nominations
You have,
aren't
like, a
until the
whole
next
week.
day.
Yeah.
Then you get a veto later, so they're like everyone gets time for their one-on-one. So just the pace of it was hard for me to grasp, and I'm not like the person that's like, hey, you, I need to talk to you now. Like, I'm going to jump right in line and talk to you. So
Yeah.
I was just like, a lot of times I wouldn't even talk to whoever won. And I'm just like, okay, maybe if I just hide over here, they'll forget I was here. Like,
Yeah.
and they'll
It's not a
just
bad
won't say my
strategy.
name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was hard, dude. But it was cool. It was really cool to be a part of the challenge.
Yeah.
Can't say I'll do it again
Really?
because, like, it was really difficult to, like, just be in that environment, I guess. It was so stressful. I don't know if it's like, there's a lot of people that really make it their thing and like they're so dedicated to like
Bananas.
Yeah, banana. Like, dude, props to him. He's won 7 times. Like, that's his thing, dude. Like, and like Josh has been going at it ever since Big Brother, like working so hard. And like Kylan Young from Big Brother, he like when he got off of Big Brother, he's like a friend of mine from LA. Like, we would hang out a couple times. He wanted to be on the challenge,
Okay.
like so bad. And he has been on the challenge like 2-3 times now. I think he's filming now. And I
Nice.
just don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, that's what it takes to win. And I don't have that. So I got no business being there. You know what I mean? So I can't say I'll do it again.
Okay.
But if I do it again, I'll have to be in that mindset.
Right.
But I can't see myself getting in that mindset. And I love the show and I love the production. I love the people that are there. But I don't know, man. I'm just I think I'm just too chill of a guy for
Yeah.
that. I'm not really super cutthroat like that.
Yeah.
You know
and
what
you're
I
a
mean?
different part of life now. So
Exactly,
we're
yeah.
gonna get into that now.
Yeah,
Unless
dude.
you have anything else to say about Big Brother or the challenge for the fans.
For the fans, man. I love y'all. That's all I got.
Cool.
Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for watching the Wavelength. If you came from Big Brother, look at that. See, that's the thing right there. People, these first few episodes, people are coming because they watched Big Brother, the
Yep.
challenge.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, I hope I answered enough. I hope I explained stuff well.
No, dude, I think that was good. Gives a full overview of what was going through your head and
I
how
tried,
the
dude.
games actually worked. I mean, I learned stuff that you haven't told me yet. So
Yeah, dude.
yeah, that's
It's
cool.
crazy. It's a crazy production, man. And
Yeah.
the people that work on those shows are the real deal, too. Like,
Yeah.
they're so cool. Like,
Yeah.
the fact Big Brother producers it's such a thankless job, man, because they have to sit there and control these human hamsters for 100 days straight and, just make sure no one's dying. And then they just get people on Twitter telling them that they suck. So, like,
Yeah, it sounds similar to my staffing corporate job,
yeah, man. Like,
managing contractors,
yeah,
and then
dude,
they just hate
watching
you.
everything and
They
then
get fired
hate
and they hate you.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always your fault. So
Yeah.
it's like, damn, man.
So it is a thankless job.
So shout out to the production, man.
Hell yeah.
We appreciate y'all.
So I'm gonna kind of give you the floor here. I want you to talk about just like real you, like the real Tyler Crispen outside of reality TV. Like, what do you like to do in your free time? Like, what is your what does your life look like now? Like where, what don't you like to do? Like stuff like that.
I don't like doing reality TV. No, man. I feel like that's the thing. I'm just like, I talk about this with like my girlfriend now. I'm just such a like simple things kind of guy.
Yep.
It doesn't take, I don't need to go like ball out in like Miami or whatever to like have a good time. Like I just want to like be around my people and like, just be doing simple things. Like we could just be out in the freaking sun in the grass and I'm having a way better day than like doing something all exquisite. I feel like a lot of people, just because I was on a TV show, think I'm like, oh, there's Hollywood over there. Like he's got it. It's so weird like when people treat me that way because I'm just like, that's not who I am at all. I just really just enjoy the little things and like just loving up on my people, man. And just, having close friends and close relationships that I'd like to nourish. And like everything that's come from Big Brother, I'm so appreciative. And like all the fame, I guess, like thankfully, I don't think has like gone to my head, like where a lot of people it can.
For sure.
It's just, I see it as just, wow, it's so sweet when people come up to me and like are excited to see me.
So cool.
It's the most fun. It's the coolest experience when someone's like excited to see you.
Yeah.
Like I'll never take that for granted. Like we were filming our intro video yesterday and like I forget sometimes and people are on Broadway are like, oh, Tyler, dude, I love you on the show. It's just so nice, dude.
Yeah, dude.
So nice. I wish everyone could like feel that kind of love because it's really sweet. And it's cool. So that's cool. What I appreciate.
Nobody's gonna deny that it's not cool to be known.
Definitely,
like it's cool.
If the people that are like, oh, it's so annoying, like get out of here, dude.
Yeah,
like
you love it.
No, I love it, man.
Yeah.
People are so nice to me out in the streets. Like they might be the same people that are tweeting all kinds of shit about me, but if they're nice to my face, so I love it, dude. I love saying hi to people. That's just the coolest thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's awesome, but. Yeah, man, I'm just a normal guy. I like to be normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to be living in that world too much.
Yep.
Like, I was talking with, I almost said her name. I was talking the other day. She was, like, asking me if I would try, like, or if I would do another show. And I was talking about what I was talking with you just now. Like, I feel like a lot of people make that their thing. Like, they make that their life.
Yeah.
And I just see it as these little, like, side quests now that pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I feel like go doing a little side mission, I might go do a little side mission. But I just like just living my life and just kind of being there for my people and just doing normal things and everyday things. Which for a while there, that's why I wasn't feeling like myself, I think, around 2020. Because I was like, felt like I had to like do all these different things. Felt like because I was in the spotlight now, I had to go live a certain type of lifestyle or present myself that way. And those aren't the things that make you happy. Make me happy or fill me up. So that was something I had to go through and like learn that, like I just wasn't surrounded by the right people.
For sure.
And that's even the period of like 5 years where we didn't really hang out too much, so it was just like once I got out of that and realized like, wait a minute, let me just fucking like get back to the basic things that I love and I need and my people that I love and need and boom, back. Like, just like that,
Yeah.
And so that's it. I'll say. Just enjoy the little things. Zombieland. Rule number 32, I think. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, dude, Zombieland's great.
Best movie
Classic.
of all. That's my favorite movie, dude.
Really?
Yep. Showed my girlfriend that the other day. Wasn't a test. It wasn't a test, okay? But she liked it. And I was glad she liked it.
There we go.
But if she hated it, I would have been upset.
Yeah. It's funny, dude. You can't not like that movie. All right. So the burning question. You've said girlfriend a couple times now.
Maybe.
We haven't seen her on Instagram or anything.
Not gonna.
Not name dropping her.
No.
You almost just let it slip.
Mm-hmm.
Give us at least like part of the lowdown on like what you're doing, like what the relationship is, like what's going on.
Well, she's the greatest. And that's that.
That's it.
No. Okay.
I was like, you're gonna lose some fans on that one.
Maybe. Well, I'll say the reason that we just like to keep things private.
For sure.
Like.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah. So I feel like, I think I explained this to you the other day. Like when you have your most prized possession, right? Like you got a freaking Babe Ruth signed baseball in your house. What do? You don't sit that thing on the front porch.
Yeah.
You don't like put it in like on top of your car and drive around for everybody to see it. You put it in a glass case and you keep it somewhere safe in your house, like you keep that for you. So when I'm in a relationship, like the most important thing to me is like the intimate relationship.
Yep.
So like it's precious to me, and to be able to like put that on a pedestal for everybody else, I feel like just adds in all these extra layers that we don't really need. And it's not that like I'm trying to hide my girlfriend from the world, but we both are in the place where it's like, okay, what's important to us is our relationship at the end of the day, and that kind of stuff is not important.
Yeah.
You know, and she's just not used to, you know, the whole kind of like being in the public eye kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't want to put her through that via me.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that would be a
social
whole
media
different thing.
gets crazy.
Yeah,
and
dude,
like,
it's like, it's difficult, and I wouldn't want to put that on anybody, you know, like those kind of things, or that scrutiny or anything. So,
yeah.
But that's the thing. That's another thing I appreciate about her is that, like, it's like, I feel like because I was on like TV or because I'm a public figure in the public eye, people might just want to date me because of that and don't actually want to get to know me.
For sure.
Or like want to be my friend because of that and don't want to get to know me. Where the first thing we did is like, we had the most heart-to-heart connection, like instant from the bat, and just wanted to get to know each other. And she just like likes me for who I am as a person every day, and not for all those extra things.
So she's on the same page about like you not posting her.
Yeah,
or like
that was
nothing.
a joint
decision
that we're like, this is what's best for us moving forward, and it's just been awesome. I'm
That's
like,
great,
shoot,
dude.
man, like that's the real one right there.
What else?
Anything else? Was there any more questions that you have for me?
I think that's all I got.
Thank God, dude.
Dude, that was good.
God, I'm so glad that's over. I'm not talking about myself for the rest of this podcast.
It was good though. You like fucking crushed it.
Thanks, man.
Like the Big Brother. Like, you think he crushed it? I was like, that was so good. Like,
I was
talking
trying.
about Big Brother in like the best way possible, but also saying it was fucking hard as hell. Like, you nailed it.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
I was trying to get it all out
When
there.
when you were not rambling, like talking for that long stint, I'm like, it's so good now, and everybody's gonna fucking love that.
I hope you guys enjoyed that, because man, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
I was zoning out a couple times.
Yeah.
But I mean, I actually really do enjoy talking about Big Brother and the challenge. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really fucking cool, unique experience. And as hard as it was, and all the things I deal with now, it was so sick, and it got me to where I am, and it led to so many things that are just out of this world. So I love talking about it. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. Those are good questions, though, dude. I can't wait for tomorrow's episode
Me tomorrow.
on the Wavelength. We got an in-depth interview with Mr. Alex Kamenca. You guys don't know him all too much quite yet, but you're about to, because this dude has some stories. He's been through it. He's been up, down, and around it, and we're going to get into it.
Yep.
So thanks for listening.
Tried a few things in life. We'll see how that
Couple
goes.
things.
Yeah.
Couple things. Insert the clip of you falling off the stage in Mexico.
Oh, God. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the questions.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps up episode 2. What do you think?
I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks
You're
for
listening.
watching. We love you.
Love you. Let go.
I'm finally on my way to all my better days. Don't care what people say, I make the world my stage. Life is a beach, I hit the ocean trying to catch a wave. Dive in the water.